for me, man, when I look at the Washington football team, watching them play Dallas, that was obviously their most recent game. They played them on Thanksgiving. It was interesting to see because obviously that Cowboys team, they had Andy Dalton and they actually looked a lot better, but it was weird because obviously the final score being what it was, it did look ugly, but turnovers were the biggest part of that. I think they scored once or twice on it. I mean, I know they scored once on a, I guess you call that a pick six at the end.
The end of the game.
Yeah, that was a pick six, but they still were able to create turnovers and create short fields. I thought that was the biggest thing with Washington. But as a whole, I think that they're not a good team, but they're not bad either. They're just kind of just average, mediocre. And it's kind of what you would expect when you talk about a team that is very young. I mean, across the board, they're young. They're still playing with the quarterback position. It looks like they're going to be settled in on Alex Smith, but he's essentially, I think, their third quarterback that they've used this season. So anytime you start talking about using multiple quarterbacks, we saw this firsthand last year, that does have a little bit of a negative impact. But with Alex Smith, his style of play, he is very conservative with the ball. I mean, it's Alex Smith. You know him. I mean, he's not going to change his game in whatever year this is from, 10, 11, 12 maybe. With
oh man, well he came in with Rodgers.
Yeah.
He came in with Rodgers. So this is like what 15 or 16. But like technical years, I mean, he sat out those 2 years.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so
maybe 12 or 13.
So with Alex Smith though, man, he's a guy that's going to feature his backs. He checks down a lot. He'll take calculated shots downfield, but that's not his game. He works short as his number one priority, and then from there he'll look intermediate. But I thought Antonio Gibson looked really good against Dallas. It was funny, man, hearing one of the commentators. I usually don't like to listen to the commentators, but it was good to hear they were talking about comparing him to Arian Foster, the running back used to play with the Texans. And honestly, they do run very similar, very smooth runners, almost like they're gliding, not fast. They're not going to blaze by you. They're not as elusive as a Chris Johnson type, right? But just a smooth runner. You can see like how
definitely.
He does a good job, I think, of being patient. He does a good job of setting up his blocks and ultimately using defenders' speed against them. I do like his game. Terry McLaurin, I think that he's going to be a star. He's one of those guys. Definitely. You see him, he's been lighting it up. He's to me the most scary part of their offense. What he's able to do, man. He's a really good player from that standpoint. But yeah, man, I think that they're just. Yeah, they're not gonna wow you. They
a little better Jaguars, maybe.
Yeah,
something like that.
It's just once again, I think we use this analogy with the Jaguars. We said it's kind of like watching Syracuse men's basketball. They're gonna 2-3 zone you to death. Like they're not gonna wow you. They're gonna just slow, methodical, check down. Wait till you make a mistake, take a shot. Like,
well, and I think that's
their game,
and that's what they want to do to win because there are 2 games with Alex Smith where he threw for over 300 yards. The one was like over 50 attempts. The other one was over 30 attempts. They lost. Granted, it was by 3, so they were still in the game and everything. But then the 2 that they just won recently, the Bengals and the Cowboys, he had like 15, 16 attempts,
Slow
like 150 yards and a touchdown. Yeah.
Slow play it, allow Antonio Gibson. I mean, they played through Gibson. As much as Terry gave them the downfield threat, and he made big plays, their offense runs through Antonio Gibson between the runs and just as soon as from a passing standpoint, they get rid of the ball, they're dropping it off to Gibson. This is one of those games where Vince, Spillane, Avery, because they're going to see Gibson the most, they have to be really good tacklers. It's not like Gibson's not going to route you up. He's not Le'Veon with his routes, but he's a guy that they're going to make you have to consistently open field tackle. And if you miss a tackle, now they can create some splash off of that. But you got to consistently tackle this guy. And he's going to get the opportunities. Like I said, you watch that tape, man, on Washington, and that's the guy they want to get the ball right now, man.
No, definitely. I feel confident in it, though, with our run defense and everything. Because I was looking at just his game logs, too. Mm-hmm. His 2 best games were against the Cowboys, and then his second best game was against the Bengals. And so if we're facing a run defense like the Steelers here, obviously we're losing Bud Dupree. I think we got the pieces. Is Tua going to be back?
I do not know because he actually tested positive. He wasn't a contact trace.
Oh, was he? Yeah, he might be out for this game then.
Yeah, that's
especially with the time difference.
Right, because it's 5 days.
Wait, when was it though?
I don't know.
Was that over the weekend that it happened?
Yeah, but even if it was, that's only going to be a week.
Because like Lamar's good Tuesday for this game.
Yeah, but I thought Lamar.
You need like 10 or 14 days.
I thought if it's a positive test, it's 14 days. If it's a contact trace, it's like 5 days. So that's like the biggest difference. That's also why some of the players from both sides were able to come back for the game yesterday, because of the contact tracing element of it.
That's 2 weeks because I think we got the news. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday before Thanksgiving?
And that's why Lamar's going to be back for this game against the Cowboys, right? So, and they say even if they would have played on Monday, he would his first day eligible would be Monday. But because they play on Tuesday, now he's going to get at least 1 day of practice. This segment was brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sports booking app. And for all the first-time users out there, if you use the promo code Moats, you will receive up to $1,000 in deposit bonus money. Now, we know that's a lot of money, but we also know that sports booking isn't allowed everywhere just yet. But you know what it is?
Fantasy football.
Fantasy football. And with DraftKings right now, what they have going on, man, they are giving up to $1 million in prize money every single week. Did you hear that? I don't know if you heard that correctly. $1 million in prize money every week when you use their fantasy football app. I mean, it's an amazing situation. You love fantasy football, right?
Yeah, I do.
I love fantasy football. Sometimes I love it a little bit too much because of DraftKings. So, with that being said, stop wasting time. Download both apps, the DraftKings Sportsbook and DraftKings Fantasy Football. Use the promo code Moats, and let's get an opportunity to make some money.